Please, just talk. Do something. Make a contribution. Do something, god damn it. Fucking speak!
Love and leg drops, bitches.
Peace, love, and leg drops.
Peace, love, and leg drops.
Peace, love, and leg drops. We love to crumb. We love to crumb. Peace, love, and leg drops.
Peace, love, and leg drops.
Fuck you.
After Party Hangover.
Welcome to the After Party Hangover. I am your host, Mangria Fueled, and this is the show that talks about a show that talks about a show. Today's guests, we bring back the barely legal great brettzky99, as well as Mr. Controversy, Mr. Continuity, Stixadam. What is going on, guys? How is your Sunday going?
Oh, well, I woke up late, got to do this, so far pretty good.
Nice.
Going awesome, talking with two awesome guys, talking a little wrestling and a little after party.
That's right. How you doing, Brett?
Well, college being college, but hey, got a little break, got a little Halloween weekend, and things are going great.
What did you guys do for Halloween?
Nothing much. I mean, some people went out. I stayed in. I watched Smackdown. I watched Crown Jewel too, which is great. Great Halloween.
But did you dress up in costume while you were watching it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, my whole thing was just a pun. Jake would love it. It was just I dressed up in normal clothes, and I said I was a donkey. People didn't get it, and I reminded them that another name for donkey is jackass.
You just gave Jake a half chub.
I was hoping Brettzky didn't, get lured by some guy in a white van with a huffy saying, "Hey, you want a good time? Come hang out."
Dressed up in a Dungeons and Dragons uniform?
Yeah, I have a Brandon Cutler t-shirt.
All right, well.
Hey, he's close enough. I gotta watch out.
How about you, Adam? What did you do for Halloween?
I worked, man.
Working Halloween, huh?
Yeah, that's the way it always is on Halloweens.
Isn't adulting horrible?
It sucks, dude. It seriously does.
Brett, give it a couple years. You'll understand. Okay, well, let's start by reviewing the Steel Real After Party episode 95, Spooky Kabuki. They kicked off the episode by referencing the Black Eyed Peas song, Let's Get Retarded. Have either of you heard this version of that Black Eyed Peas song?
Yep.
I cannot believe they were allowed to do that. Could you imagine if they released that today, how much fucking heat they'd get?
Oh my god. I can't imagine they released it then.
Do either of you listen to Black Eyed Peas?
I asked a couple of weeks ago about haunting people, if you go back, the Black Eyed Peas still haunt me to this day.
Why is that?
Because there's not a day that doesn't go by. I don't hear a freaking song by them. And it's usually not even that song. It's like the radio version of it. It's like, let's get it started. And then unfortunately, it's one of those songs that once you hear it, it gets stuck in your head and it just ruins your day.
Do you listen to the Black Eyed Peas,
yeah.
Brett?
I used to. I had the same problem. I'd always I had like a pump up music playlist or whatever, and I used to play rec basketball, and it would always come on something from the Black Eyed Peas would always get stuck in my head for the rest of the day. I had the same exact problem.
I didn't like the Black Eyed Peas at first, but since I'm so simple-minded, they would replay it over and over and over on the radio, and it just burned into my brain, and then all of a sudden I'm like, don't funk with my heart. Well, then they moved on to Jake's Halloween party, where his boss busted out his rusty wagon wheel in front of all the party guests. Have you guys been to any Halloween parties?
nothing. I mean, kind of, yeah, but nothing really, like, nothing with that experience. No, not yet, at least.
No, me neither.
Yeah, I'm too much of a square. I never really attended any Halloween parties, which is kind of sad that Jake has a one-up on all of us here.
I know.
Do you guys remember any of your costumes from back in the day? Like anything you want to brag about or are embarrassed about?
Oh man, I gotta think now. Actually, yeah, I don't know if you guys remember, leading up to the 2016 election, that guy Ken Bone.
Oh yeah, the red sweater guy.
Yeah, I won as Ken Bone that year.
Oh my god.
I found a red sweatshirt. I kind of stuffed it with like a bunch of paper towels, and I wore some whatever jeans he was wearing, jeans or something like that, and just had like a little name tag. It said Ken Bone. It was, oh god.
Did you have a fake mustache?
I did actually. I had one of those things with like where it was like the glasses with the nose and then the mustache.
Oh, the Groucho Marx thing.
Yeah, I had that.
Nice. How about you, Adam?
Nah, I think one year I went as like Jason with one of those cheapo glow-in-the-dark masks.
Oh,
but
hell
then
yeah.
otherwise it was just my mom gave me like a cheapo white sheet and cut holes in it and said, there you go, now go get me some candy.
I believe I put a stretch of 5 years together where I went as Jason with that same exact Halloween mask. And then in 2006, Kane Hodder, the guy who plays Jason, was doing autographs at a Party City. So I'm guessing he needed some drug money. So I brought my mask to Party City, and he actually autographed it, and we took a picture of him holding a machete up to my neck. It was pretty sweet.
That's awesome.
Jason has always been my favorite horror movie character. Let's see. Now, Vegas stories. Do either of you have any Vegas stories, or have you been to Las Vegas?
Nope. I have been to Vegas, actually.
Oh yeah, how'd you like it?
Many years ago. It was really fun. I mean, it was when I was much younger. I think I was like maybe like 6 or 7. It was like a family vacation. We went out. It was a lot of fun.
Did you go to Circus?
I don't think I saw the Blue Man Group, I remember.
Oh, nice. We wanted to see them, but their show is sold out. It's weird how they've been there so long and they're still so popular.
Yeah, it's crazy. They're really fun to see. I think I saw them once. Other than that, in New York, but they're really fun to see.
Before I forget, Adam, did you get your hug your chicks and wash your dick shirt?
Damn straight.
Okay, because Jake wants a personal picture from you in his DMs with you wearing just that.
Well, I don't know if I'll send it to him in his DMs because I don't know what he's going to do with that picture, but I will definitely get one posted.
Nice.
Hey, you're of age. You're fine.
Well,
maybe I should send it to Brettzky. That way Brettzky can send him that picture.
get him thrown in jail for reals. Well, I noticed that Zenka's hate for Dominic continued during this podcast, and he put out an interesting theory that Dominic should turn heel because he said Rey Mysterio has Cain Velasquez fighting his battles, so Brock Lesnar should get Dominic, and they should have like this tag match with it'd probably be a good story. What do you guys think about that angle? Do you have any angles of your own with the Dominic and Mysterio and Cain and Brock?
I'm afraid that would make Zenka like Dominic, and I don't like that. I like Dominic hate.
I think it'd be interesting. I think Dominic turning heel would probably be the only way, because if he's going to be a wrestler, he's like, I'm Rey Mysterio's son. Look at me, woo! I can do like a really shitty 619. Wow! It's like he has to do something like interesting.
He's been on TV like 3 or 4 times, and my favorite thing about Dominic Mysterio is how good he can take an ass kicking.
Oh yeah.
He takes an F5 like the best of them.
I want to see him do some kind of offense.
Do you?
Well, I mean, before Brock like shoves his whole leg up his asshole, at least like slap him or punch him or I don't know, pinch his nipple, do something to fight back. My God, he's getting murdered every week.
see him come out to like Latino Heat, and then that's when he turns heel. And then instead of doing a crappy 619, do a half-ass frog splash.
Oh my God! Could you imagine how horrible that would look?
Oh, it'd be the worst.
He has to be shirtless.
Oh, just like Goldberg's kid, yeah. It'd be sweet. Can you imagine a week from now if Dominic debuts and he does a super badass wrestling match, how wrong we all would be? I've never seen any of his indie work, but apparently the rumor is he's been training.
Well, you know the play is when he turns heel, he needs to come out in the wheelchair, and then all of a sudden he just gets up, and that's when he turns heel. So that way everybody doesn't really expect it.
He does a 619 with the wheelchair? That'd be pretty sweet. Also, Zanka shared some breaking news during the podcast about the Jericho-Cody match. For AEW, they're going to have judges. What are your thoughts on this? Just to prevent a tie, how do you think they're going to do this?
I personally really like it because that's one of the only problems I had with when I don't watch New Japan often. Like when I do, like the Kenny, like the Omega, whatever the other guy's name was, and they had that trilogy.
Okada.
Yeah, Okada. Yeah, I was gonna say someone else. I really didn't want to come off as but it's racist. But yeah. But I feel like the only problem with that is that once it gets to a 60-minute time limit, you can set up other feuds in the future. But for them, the big problem is that they're not building new stars. So if you have a 60-minute time limit draw and that's it, and that sets up another feud with them, then it just kind of gets repetitive and boring right off the bat. So I think having that real boxing MMA feel, it actually is really cool. And I like the idea of maybe MJF turning heel or something like that.
Well, what do you think they should bring in 3 nobodies to play judges, or do you think they should bring in Hall of Famers or their fellow wrestlers to be the judges, or the commentators? How do you think they should do it, Adam?
I have a feeling they'll probably bring in Hall of Famers because they got that connection. And I mean, I like it because we've already had since their inception, 2 or 3 already time limit draws, and so I like it that we're gonna, because we know it's gonna go 60 minutes. But I like it that we're going to get a result in it.
Do you think Jericho can go 60 minutes? It looks like he'd need to sit down for a cigarette break and fucking eat a donut and then go back in.
Well, hey, I mean, if you listen to his podcast, that DDPY yoga is the truth. So, I mean, DDP's probably got him ready to go 60 minutes and then a 20-minute overtime if he has to.
That's true. That's true. And Cody's great at telling stories, so maybe they'll bring in Dustin or, I don't know, there'll definitely be some kind of interference, I bet.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
yeah, they'll probably have some kind of 5 minutes where there's kind of oh, we beat each other up so much we're gonna have to lie down for a while, something like that.
Who do you think's gonna bleed first?
That'll be at the end when the judges are tallying the score. Then they'll be we have a majority draw, so we have a 5 or 10 minute overtime.
Oh yeah, that'd be interesting.
You know, it'd be gay as if they asked the audience, "Who do you think should win?"
Yeah, fully.
Yeah. Well, the LOL line of the week, of course, came from Zanka. They were talking about Jessa Manduke and how skinny she is. And Zanka said, "She looks like if you put your dick in her, you'll see it." That was my favorite line of the episode. There is a close second.
You put your dick in her, and it looks like that scene from Alien when the alien busts out the belly, but it's your fucking penis.
Oh, shit. You know,
that would be a compliment, especially if it's Jake's penis.
Oh, you wouldn't be able to see shit. You'd probably see his pubes in her before his micro penis.
Yeah.
What are your guys' thoughts on the MMA horsewomen and the job they're doing in NXT? Are you a fan? Do you think they just need way more time? Or do you think they should just be managers to Shayna and Ronda?
I think they need to stay managers. They're still so super green. They're years away from even needing to be on TV.
No, yeah, I agree. I think that their hope was that because Shayna Baszler took really quickly, and I think their hope was that they would both take really quickly. They haven't. maybe keep them as managers and like have them like beat people up like every now and then after a match, but like keep them as far away from actually wrestling until they get training.
I just thought of the word I was trying to think of. Not managers, but valets.
I would definitely find some better valets.
Yeah. The other line that came close to it was when they're talking about Brock and Cain Velasquez. This is pre-Crown Jewel, so this is pre the shit show that actually happened. I'm gonna play the clip for you.
Right now, they should be in a ring going over this match.
I hope so.
But no, you know Brock's out there finger fucking Buffalo in fucking Canada too.
And Sable.
Yeah. And Kane just looks like he's eating every truck he sees.
So,
I thought that was pretty funny. Also, we found out, since we're lucky enough to be recording now, that Jake and Zanka have tied in predictions, which results in each of them getting a chop. I'm not sure if they're going to ask trivia questions or not, but we will be seeing a chop. Oh, no, I'm not seeing. We'll be hearing a future dual chop shop on this coming episode.
That's got to be a victory for Zanka because he's been getting freaking just smoked in the last few chop shops.
He's going to put some stank on it. Watch. He's gonna do a running start and then chop his ass.
I hope so.
It'd be really interesting to hear a double chop shop. We haven't had one in a while.
And thanks to the bet that Andy and Jake have made, the next time Jake actually loses, they have to live stream it, and he's going to be wearing a Titans jersey, I believe.
Yep. Never bet on the Browns, Jake.
Yeah.
Well, as you both know, the Claymore kick won the finishing move crumb-offs. Last week, I introduced the next crumb-offs. It is the tag team crumb-offs, and I'm staying out of this one. So I'm letting you guys both choose one tag team each. We already have the Oddities and Billy and Chuck. Now it's up to you two to add two more tag teams to the tag team crumb-off tournament.
I'm going to go with the Dicks.
Shit. The Dicks. Damn, I'm surprised you remember them. That was a long time ago.
Oh, believe me, I have searched the annals of great wrestling history.
What about you, Adam? Do you have a tag team in mind?
Would Al Snow and Head count as one?
I would say more head cheese. Al Snow and Steve Blackman.
I'll go with that one. I like that one.
This is a very interesting bracket, by the way. I thought
the greatest tag teams of all time.
I thought you guys would say like the Hardys or Edge and Christian. We get the Dicks. That's funny.
Hey, we're only talking about the greatest of tag teams here.
That's true. I didn't think about that. Sorry. I just wanted to throw a suggestion.
North Carolina or any of that. We want the greatest of the greatest.
Alrighty, well, there is a pretty huge week of wrestling we just went through. We had a Raw, AEW, NXT, Crown Jewel, and Smackdown. What are your guys' thoughts, and is there anything specific you want to talk about?
I thought Smackdown was actually the better show because of, obviously, the flight delays, but I thought the NXT stars really stole the show with the opportunity that they had.
Not to mention Daniel Bryan versus Adam Cole's the greatest match of the week, I believe.
That might be the greatest match of, like, the month.
Yeah.
I was watching that since I don't have cable with me, so I have to watch it through like Optimum TV. So I was live streaming it, and the internet was really shitty. Even with like kind of like going in and out internet, like in and out quality, pausing around times, it was still an amazing match. So like just a testament to both those guys.
Did you guys notice that Renee Young referred to Daniel Bryan as the Dragon?
Yep.
Yeah.
That was badass. I can't believe they're letting him do that now.
That's freaking awesome.
There was a risky spot
Yeah.
in that match where I believe it was Daniel Bryan suplexed Adam Cole over the top rope, and then Daniel Bryan followed them. They both fell on the outside of the ring.
Yeah.
When I saw that, my butthole clenched. I was like, "Oh no, Daniel!"
Yeah, because I think they both did a good job protecting themselves, because I think they both actually landed on their feet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because when I watched it last night, the first thing I thought, I was like, oh shit, Brian and his head. But then it was like, I watched the replay, and it's like, damn, they actually did a really good job of protecting themselves coming out of the ring and getting to the floor.
Brett, what did you think of Pat McAfee, Tom Phillips, and Renee Young as a commentary trio?
I love Pat McAfee. I want Pat McAfee to narrate my life.
Hells yes.
I think Tom Phillips is very underrated. I think that he's actually really good especially given the right circumstances. I think Renee Young was really good for the first time, and Pat McAfee's just being so pro NXT is just the best thing in the world. So I think that, especially given the short-term notice, they did a really good job.
I can just hear it now.
I liked it when they showed a lot of the replays from the cameras. Like they saw, if you look, you saw Pat McAfee standing up. He looked like an actual fan that was doing commentary, and I was like, I can relate with that. I am a huge Pat McAfee fan, and I thought it was awesome.
He was wearing jorts.
Yeah. How do you not become one of the greatest announcers when you're wearing jorts?
I could
He
just
had a tank top in Buffalo in the middle of fucking fall.
Yeah.
I can just hear Pat McAfee narrating Brett's life. The great brettzky99, 99, walks into his college class. He has his homework ready to turn in.
What's this in the corner? It's Jake. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Why is his hand in his pants?
You do not go to the corner. Run.
We need some room. No. Yeah, I prefer Pat McAfee, Tom Phillips, and Renee Young to any of the commentary on Raw and SmackDown. Renee looks so happy to be out there, and fucking Renee took a boot to the face and got a bloody fucking nose. I mean, give her some props.
Hells yeah. You think Corey Graves is doing that? Heck no. That
Rhea Ripley, Tegan Nox coming out. It was funny to see Tegan Nox trying to be all tough next to Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley's such a natural badass, and Tegan's like, yeah, you tell him, Rhea. Yeah, we're going to get him. Poor Carmella and Dana Brooke.
Tegan Nox's Shining Wizard is amazing, by the way.
Yes, she is excellent. She brings a lot of talent to that NXT women's roster, and I hope she stays in NXT because you know what Vince might do with her. She'll be the next Bayley.
Oh God.
Yeah.
But that was pretty messed up about Carmella and Dana Brooke. They got the shit kicked out of them backstage.
I was more disheartened to see the debut of the Flex Appeal T-shirt.
That's true. I don't know how good I'm not so sure how good the press was on that though, because she's wearing the shirt and then she gets her ass kicked. It's like so much for Flex Appeal.
I'm waiting for them to do like the NXT banners. That'll be the hottest selling one. Would be the Flex Appeal NXT banner.
You know, if Jake and Zanka do a live streaming Steel Real After Party podcast, they need to have the Flex Appeal flag in the background to represent Dana.
Oh, yeah.
So, forgive me, Brett. Oh, what was that? I'm sorry.
Yeah. I would say my favorite part of that entire backstage beatdown was Carmella just kind of sitting there.
Looking defeated.
She was just like, if they didn't tell me, if they weren't like, oh, Carmella must have been beat up before, and she just kind of looked like she was sitting there like, oh, shucks, we can't have a match tonight.
It's all right. Corey probably dicked her down or something. She was fine. Well, I want to rewind to the beginning of SmackDown, and forgive me for being vulgar, Brett, but How hard did your guys' dicks get when you saw Triple H and Shawn Michaels backstage at the beginning after Brock had quit? Did that blow you guys away or what?
That was freaking hilarious because the way they looked, it was just like, oh, so he just quit? God, I'm glad we ain't running the show tonight.
I love too how I feel. I have no idea if it was like intentional or not, but when Brock was going the wrong way, and he was like, "No, Brock, this way,"
Yeah.
and walks away.
That's right.
Not only is he an advocate, but he is the handler of Brock Lesnar and his tour guide too.
He might as well have had Brock on a leash
Oh God!
and cattle prodded him when he was going the wrong way. So, do you guys think that Brock is now on Raw? Can you just do that? Can you easily just say, I quit, and then jump to the other show?
I'm pretty sure they'll finagle it in there, especially when they did the trade for Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. I bet that's how they'll do it. I was wondering how they were going to do that with Bray winning the Universal title, because you're going to have 2 titles on SmackDown, but I guess this kind of works into the storyline. They'll massage it in there some way.
I hope. I mean, like, I feel like he's just like gonna. I wonder if he's gonna go and show up in NXT randomly. Like, I feel like he's just gonna show up in random places, just kind of clothesline some people, suplex some people, and just like F5 and just like leave.
He just.
I feel like it's not gonna stop this Raw.
He shows up on 205 Live and murders everybody, including the audience, and then leaves.
What audience?
Yeah,
You're
oh, that's
gonna
true.
find out that the wild card isn't really dead because Brock is the wild card.
Wild card.
Wild.
Brock Lesnar.
Well, I was pretty disappointed that Bray wasn't on Miz TV, because everything we got tonight, and then you add Bray on Miz TV, how badass would that have been? With the Universal Championship as well.
Yeah, but then you might not have had Tommaso Ciampa, so it's interesting.
That, well,
Yeah,
when
I was gonna be
Tommaso...
interested to see how they do that. I was disappointed that Bray wasn't there, but they found a really good fill-in with Tommaso.
I would love to see Tommaso versus Bray, just like a thing of mind games and just insanity.
God, that'd be so good.
We do got to give Miz a little credit, though. When Tommaso was talking shit to Miz's face, and Miz came back with, like, that's all you got? Everyone tells me that every day. That's nothing new to me.
Yeah.
Like, he shut it down pretty quick. We got to give Miz a little bit of props for his mic skills on that.
I think people still underrate Miz on his mic skills, and the guy kills it every segment that he does. I mean, for every one bad one that he has like 10 or 11 really good ones that people just seem to forget about.
And plus, he needs to
it's-
play it up that he's vanilla, because he wants to be on the Access Hollywoods and the movies and all that shit. So if he was allowed to be himself like he was when he went against John Cena, he would be back on top in no time.
Oh, yeah.
But wasn't it Pat McAfee that said, well, hey, I thought the Marine movies were pretty good. I was a fan of them.
Yeah.
Well, there's one fan.
The Marine Ford was great.
Close Quarters is a drastically underrated movie.
Brett, what did you
The
think?
one thing-
What did you
The
think?
one thing I don't...
I'm sorry,
the
go
one
ahead.
The one thing I didn't like about this was Miz was heel according to commentary, but he was supposed to be face. Like Renee going like, "Oh, he's so conceited. He's interviewing himself." Like, yeah, he is conceited. He's not a face.
Yeah, that was like
Yeah.
a weird mixed message that they were sending in that ring.
Like, other than that, I thought it was great. But he needs to either be like super cheese babyface, which sucks, or he needs to go heel. Like he's not a tweener.
Give me heel Miz all day. Give me heel Miz all day.
What did you guys think of Matt Riddle and Keith Lee beating the fuck out of Sami Zayn?
Awesome.
Are you familiar with Riddle and Keith Lee, Brett?
Yeah, I think it's great. I honestly think that Riddle got the biggest pop of the night. I think that they're great. Like, that was poor Sami Zayn, but like Sami Zayn's getting on TV. He's being a good heel. I thought that was really funny in the backstage. So good. That was really fun. I think.
Not get the broness.
Yeah.
And I guess it worked out for Sammy not going to Saudi for Nakamura because Nakamura couldn't be there, but Sammy was there and he got some TV time. Even though he got slaughtered, I mean, he was still on there.
Yep.
Adam Cole backstage. Oh, I know we covered Adam Cole versus Daniel Bryan, but when Triple H and Daniel Bryan were nose to nose, and then Triple H goes, "Hell, I didn't bring my gear. So how about this? Hey, champ, come on over here." And then Adam Cole comes on stage, and the crowd, everyone in the crowd had an orgasm.
I thought it was funny that Shawn was standing right there, and you saw Shawn slowly start taking his jacket off, and it was like, are we going to get Shawn Michaels? And all of a sudden he's like, oh, man, it's cold in here.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
I loved how he did that there, and he did that against, what was it, Dolph Ziggler as well, a couple months ago.
Yeah. That was just an all-around great segment. I'm very interested to see how they go with Daniel Bryan and Triple H from here. I don't know how they do it, but I think that'd be interesting if they go forward with it.
Yeah, that would be good.
And backtracking a little bit, did you guys, how much of Crown Jewel did both of you watch?
All of it.
I watched most of it. I mean, I made sure to watch the women's match and the main event most closely, but I watched most of it.
The only thing I didn't get was the kickoff show.
Yeah, I didn't see that either.
Yeah. But I guess they had that battle, that was a 20-man battle royal for the chance to face AJ, but I figured I didn't miss much.
You know, overall, the Saudi shows are usually dog shit, but this one actually, I'd actually give it a 6 out of 10. It was decent.
I think it was the best one they've had.
Especially with a title change.
Yeah.
I really wasn't expecting that at all. I think that they, especially with the added thing with the whole women's match, the title change, is kind of like more unexpected, more like, wow, this is really cool moments than any of the other ones.
What did you think of the women's match? Did you guys did it get a little dusty in the room at the end of the match when they were hugging and crying? Like, what were your thoughts on how they performed and how the crowd reacted?
I thought it went pretty good for the circumstances.
Yeah, I agree.
And it wasn't enough for them to wear full body suits. They're like, put a t-shirt on as well.
Yeah.
I can't imagine how hard it is to compete in that kind of gear, especially in probably 110-degree heat.
Oh my god.
So, obviously stuff was a little sloppy and maybe a little slow, but with the short notice, the nerves, and the whole bodysuit thing, it was more about what was actually happening than the actual match.
I was worried for them after the match. I thought for sure that they, the refs would be like, okay, girls, hug, let's go. Let's get you girls out of here. But they allowed them to kind of interact with the fans. And I thought that was getting a little sketchy because I was like, ugh, how's this going to go off? Is something going to get, someone going to touch somebody the wrong way? And then we're going to get, a huge riot. But I thought it went good for the circumstances. And I thought it was really good for WWE.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like, to be honest with you, I look at it now and compare it to my feelings of when they made the Saudi deal. If maybe, obviously, I'm not trying to be Vince Russo, but, if the whole point of it in the end turns out that what they got out of it was a lot of, they got women to be introduced there, maybe next time they have, a women's championship match or something like that, then I think it actually ends up being a big win overall in the end.
Exactly.
I was trying to remember. Did they try to do a women's match last year? But it was they tried doing it on short notice, and it didn't get.
They canceled it. Yeah, they canceled it at the last second.
That's what I thought.
You know, if they do have another Saudi show, and now that they have women doing matches, they cannot help themselves. They're going to be like, and now the 30 women battle royal.
Oh yeah, you give WWE an inch, they're gonna take it. They're gonna add another hour and a half to Crown Jewel, and that hour and a half will be women's matches.
And it's gonna be the Women's World Cup, and it's just gonna look like a uterus with a turban on it.
No.
Yeah, the greatest female wrestler in the world. The
Yeah.
greatest female tag team in the world.
I guarantee that's happening next year.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Now.
Well, if they do go back, I mean, because I know you guys heard what's been going on. After a pay-per-view that had so much good press and just so much good vibes, to have it end the way it did with everybody having travel issues, because apparently the Saudi prince was pissed at Vince and Vince was pissed at the Saudi prince. It was a money issue. It was a cut off the live TV feed issue. This shitstorm, I don't know if it's going to get any better, but if they're going to treat the WWE like this, we'll see if they do go back.
I wouldn't be surprised if they do like a show somewhere else. Like maybe they go to like Japan or Germany. Like, you know, they did the Beast in the East, and they really haven't done like a telecast like that since then. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe WWE's like, okay, well, we'll go to like another country and we'll put it on the network and give it the grand show.
I think that the Saudi prince hasn't had enough experience with the WWE to know this, but you do not fuck with Vince McMahon.
Exactly.
He will take that country and make it not a country anymore if he wants to.
He'll buy the country and turn it into WCW Saudi. Well, going back on the Team Flair versus Team Hogan match, did you guys, I don't know if you guys watched this, but during Team Flair's entrance with Randy Orton and everybody, the crowd kept throwing stuff on the entrance ramp. I don't know if you noticed Orton picking up shit and throwing it back into the audience.
Yep, they did that in the women's match too.
Yeah.
I mean, what is WWE going to say? If you guys keep doing that, we're not coming back.
Yeah, they'll put up like protective like glass around there and be like, "This is what you get for throwing stuff at our athletes, our entertainers."
Or chain link
Maybe
fence
they were
like at
trying to help
bars.
him out. They were just trying to help him out, give him some water.
I know. Jeez, can you imagine if that happened in America? Like, whoever did that would get zip tied and tased and thrown it like outside into the street.
We remember they used to do that when they threw stuff in the ring at the end. Like, when results didn't go well with the crowd for matches.
You look at Andre's entrance even at WrestleMania 3.
The big one I remember was kind of they did a couple back in WCW days.
Yeah, anytime
the ring just got littered with cups and just trash, and it was just like, wow.
I'm glad they stopped doing that because, I mean, that's fucked up to throw shit at the wrestlers. They're just doing their job.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I thought Orton hit another impressive RKO in this match when Roman Reigns went for a Superman punch. Orton counters with the RKO. Can we just take a moment and appreciate Randy Orton? I mean, he is coming out with more and more ways to hit that RKO, and I hope he doesn't jump ship. I hope he stays in WWE because that dude is the man.
Could you imagine that guy with AEW, and then like the first night on AEW TV, he becomes AEW heavyweight champion?
I could see them doing that.
Well, I could too.
What were you saying, Brett?
I can see Orton going to AEW like one night, then like going back to like Smackdown, then going to Raw, and like I can see him just like kind of saying like "fuck all of you" and just like going everywhere.
The
Showing
ultimate
up to Japan one day.
The ultimate free agent.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, I can see him doing that.
I could too.
Well, in the main event, The Fiend eats 8 stomps, which, by the way, has completely nullified that finishing move. And then he gets thrown onto some electrical boxes, and fireworks go off. Seth goes down to check out the situation. Fiend gets the mandible claw on Seth and hits his sister Abigail to become your new, undisputed, Universal Heavyweight Champion. The Fiend. I cannot wait to see what he does with that belt, because it was on the Hangover episode with Jake that I told Jake when he becomes champion, he's got to do something to that belt, because that belt's ugly and uncreative. I hope that Bray Wyatt does something freaky with that belt.
You know he's going to.
Yeah, I hope that they kind of do something where it's like to keep on with like whatever, like I guess like bipolar, whatever they're doing with him. Where like maybe like Firefly Funhouse Bray Wyatt isn't the Universal Champion or doesn't think he is, but then like he only has the title or only acknowledges he's a champion when he's the Fiend.
Or they do two different belts. Like there's like a Firefly Funhouse belt, and then there's like the Fiend belt.
You're gonna see Ramblin' Rabbit with like a puppet title.
Yeah, they got him duct taped to the belt.
Yeah.
What if Huskus eats it?
Oh God.
They bring back the spinner belt, and Ramblin' Rabbit is on the spinner, and when it spins, you just see him spinning around and around.
It's going to be interesting. I'm actually looking forward to Raw and SmackDown this coming week because everybody's back in America, and we'll finally get the aftermath that we've been waiting for. We'll see Brock on Raw murdering Mysterio again, and then we'll see The Fiend on SmackDown with whatever happened. Whatever he does to that Universal belt, it's going to be good. NXT this past week was great. AEW was okay. And we all know what happened on Raw. But did you guys see any of NXT or no?
Yeah.
Oh, you did? What did you think?
I thought it wasn't too bad.
Do you think NXT won the week?
I hope they did, because I thought they've been winning the weeks like match-wise, but I wouldn't be surprised if AEW wins again, viewer-wise.
Well, interesting note on AEW this week. I believe Zanka called it on last week's podcast. The crowd started what? They whatted Jericho when he was talking.
Yeah.
It was only a matter of time. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, it's only a matter of time before the fans they lose their interest in something and they start pulling out that generic chant.
You think they'll chant CM Punk?
Yep. Yeah, next week probably. Or actually, they might, if they're smart, they'd save it for the freaking Full Gear match. Like when there's like a big lull and when like Jericho's sucking wind in the corner.
What if Punk is one of the judges?
I haven't started yet. Oh, that would be a fucking swerve.
Yeah.
Are you guys going to get Full Gear or no? I don't think I'm going to get it this time.
Already got it pre-ordered.
Nice. Well, Stixadam will be providing commentary for us then.
Yeah.
Brett's like, I got way too much damn homework. I can't start watching that silly shit.
I'm on a college budget.
Brettzky's trying to save the free world.
Brettzky, you're our only hope.
Oh boy, that's great news.
Well, in closing, I want to ask you guys your thoughts about your APPW characters. Did you guys like them?
Yeah.
Did you have any notes or anything? Because I can still go back and edit if you want. I just did what the first thing that came to my mind. I looked at the long list of hashtags that Stixadam always does, and I picked the funniest one that I thought could go on a shirt.
Works for me, Angry. It works for me, man.
What about you, Brett?
I love it. You said you did. You said you changed the music, right?
Yeah, just the entrance music. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I don't want to be associated with Zack Ryder, but yeah.
Well, coming soon to an APPW ring is Stixadam and the Great Brettzky. I just finished Mr. Tryon's character. Now I need to go and do Julius Caesar, Savage Alpha Foxtrot. The next APPW event is going to be very interesting, and it should get more viewers because now we're all going to be in it.
I can't wait to see Tryon and Caesar's characters. Those are going to be freaking awesome.
Oh yeah.
No, I love you, Tryon.
I'm confused what happened in the picture I sent Jake.
Oh, he never responds when I ask him what he did with that, so it's a touchy subject. And touchy, I mean him touching himself.
Well, not a touchy subject, but
He turned it into like those fat heads. He's got like the life-size fat head of Bretsky on his wall, and he just stares at it.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if you made a topless Bretsky pop.
Oh no! Oh god!
He just stares at it every day.
It's just prized collection piece.
Exactly. He wants it autographed, by the way, Brett.
I'll work on it, Jake. Send me the Hall of Fame certificate first. I'll work on it.
Exactly. Oh, jeez. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for your time. Thank you for joining me. Do you have anything either of you want to plug before I let you go?
And yeah, just a general Instagram that I follow at the Great brettzky99. Zanka can't spell it right. There's a Z, not an S. But other than that, not a plug. I said it before. I'll say it again. Don't listen to the mainstream. WWE 2K20 is very underrated. I think it's a very good game. Actually, don't listen to IGN or anything like that. And that's all I'll say about that. That's my plug.
I'm gonna buy it because you just said that. Adam, do you have any plugs?
A lot of faith, man,
Just the After Party Pro Wrestling, the After Party Hangover, and Still Real After Party. And, After Party Army is decent at best, and that's the best Army to have.
Well, if you do put a post on your Instagram, Adam, post your wash your dicks and hug your chick shirt and just promote this episode of The Hangover, if you can.
I'll get right on that.
Alrighty, guys. Thank you very much for your time. And as always, all hail Linda's Bush. Thanks again to my guests on today's Hangover, Stixadam and the Great brettzky99. As a matter of fact, if you want to follow them on Instagram, you can follow Stixadam, Stixadam on Instagram. And if you want to follow the Great brettzky99, it's just that, all one word, and Bretsky is BRETTZKY, Brettzky99. Well, if you want to follow the podcast, the Still Real After Party podcast, it's at Still Real to Us. The host is at After Party Jake, at After Party Zanka. Over on Facebook, you just search for the Still Real After Party and find the page, hit the like button. And to cover up your nips with some merchandise, shop.spreadshirt.com/stillrealafterparty and purchase the Mega Pounders with Cheese shirt and the All Hail Linda's Bush shirt, which I just bought. I can't wait to get those. And as always, thank you for listening. Until next week, all hail Linda's Bush.